Suena y la orquesta.
All right. I'm not going to waste too much time with the intro there. Welcome, it is I, Trav Moko, and we are going to do some live reaction and chat about the NBA Finals Game 3. Fourth quarter has just started. Cleveland's up by 20. Definitely a complete opposite of the first two games. Another exciting NBA playoff game with a blowout. Most of the NBA playoffs this season have been this way. There haven't been too many memorable games. A couple have been close, but for the most part, most of the games in any round, I'd like to see a stat on that, on how many games have been decided by 10 or more points thus far, because it seems pretty ridiculous. But Cleveland has played much better. I definitely give them credit for that. But Golden State has played very poorly. They've played okay defensively, but they just haven't hustled. They've looked flat. Steph Curry has not looked himself really in this series much at all, but especially tonight. Now, he had a big third quarter there. Let me leave this thing in the chat. If you want to chat, obviously, leave a comment. You can shoot me an email, travmokoshow@gmail.com. But, leave a comment in the comment section, no matter what point you're listening to this, whether it be live or some other point. And just, ask me a question, talk about the game, whatever. Another three there from J.R. Smith. 10-10 to go in the fourth. When the fourth quarter started and they were down by 20, I thought, well, if anyone can come back from this, it's Golden State. But now we're 2 minutes into the fourth, so now 10 minutes to go in the fourth, and Cleveland's up by 26. I don't think that's something you come back from, no matter how good Golden State is. Wow, Barnes hit a three there. Desperation three with the clock running out. Feel free to leave a comment. All right, got that done. So yeah, just leave a comment or whatever. Talk about the game. I've done some YouTube streaming in the past, but those abilities have been hampered for the moment, as apparently I tested my limits with the copyright and police on YouTube, which is garbage. If you heard my past podcasts, you heard me talk about that and how that's bullshit. But it is what it is. So I'll get back on the YouTube live streaming here at some point. If you're listening to this on YouTube, I appreciate it. I'll be back doing live stuff on YouTube as soon as possible. It shouldn't be much. Right now I think it's like the 1st of July. I'll be able to live stream again. I don't know why it's a 30-day thing. I'm appealing it and disputing it and whatever. Anyway, enough about that. But yeah, Cleveland's played a much better game. Like I said, I certainly give them credit. But Golden State just looks flat. They look tired. This is how they looked at times during the Oklahoma City series in the Western Conference Finals. You can just tell that they're just. There's times when they definitely look like they're tired. They don't have the lift in their step. They look a little worn out. But I mean that they'll shake out of that. I mean they'll break out of that funk. Jeez. But their shooting's been really poor. I mean the Splash Brothers have got to show up. Kyrie Irving misses a layup there, but he's had an amazing game tonight. He's really been the star of the game, in my opinion, for either team. Barbosa missing a floater, and then a loose ball foul, looks like on Klay Thompson. So 8:33 left. Still a 23-point lead. Again, just because it's Golden State, I'm still intrigued to think that they might. It's amazing. That just goes to show how much respect you have for Golden State. See, when Cleveland was in this position the last couple of games, how they call that foul on Klay Thompson? Klay Thompson just got busted in the mouth. I'm going to mute the TV there. I have the volume in the TV going on purpose. I mean, maybe you guys can kind of hear it in the background. Hopefully, it's not too overbearing in terms of being too loud, and so that everything kind of sounds the same. I don't know what I'm trying to say. But yeah, so interesting. Interesting game for sure. But like I said before, I'm a big sports fan in general. Okay, I really do like all four sports, not equally, but I do appreciate all of the four major sports, and throw MMA, UFC styles and stuff in there as well. I mean, I love basketball. I grew up in Indiana, but there's definitely times where the NBA game is hard to watch. It can be kind of boring. They juice it up with commentary and commercials, and they make it look and sound better than it is. But a lot of times in these games are pretty boring, and they're blowouts. I mean, there's been a couple of games throughout the entire playoffs, like 3 games, in any series, take any series of any round of this 2016 playoff, and most of the games have been 10 or more points. Double-digit wins. Very few. Within 5 points. Again, I don't know the stats on that, but just I've watched enough of the games to know that's probably a fair guesstimate. So it's amazing to me how the NFL or the NBA continues to get away with a poor product in a lot of ways. Now I'm not talking about Golden State. I'm talking about everyone. The NBA as a whole. Obviously, Golden State has had an amazing season. They've been so much fun to watch. But the NBA as a whole, this playoff has been pretty poor. And then you look at the NHL, and I'm a big NHL fan. My Pittsburgh Penguins are looking to wrap up the Stanley Cup tomorrow night. I fully expect them to be raising the cup by the end of the night. I'm very, very excited about that. There's another weird Kickstart commercial going on the TV right now. Those Mountain Dew Kickstart commercials are absolutely ridiculous. Awesome commercials. I love every one of them. And then now we got a commercial here for The Conjuring 2, which also looks awesome. I cannot wait to see that. The first one was really, really good. I love my horror movies. Yeah, we're going to be coming back from commercial here in a second. It doesn't look like they're going to come back from this. I mean, when they were down 20 to start the fourth quarter, you think, well, maybe they have a chance. But so game 1, 20 points for the Splash Brothers. Game 2, 35 combined for the Splash Brothers. Tonight, 25 on 9 of 25 shooting. So not what you're used to for the most two. Now Steph Curry's, he just shot a technical free throw. Yeah, he got a technical foul for elbowing Klay Thompson. I don't know what they're calling there. It's a flagrant foul, if anything. I don't know, a technical foul. There's a drive and a dunk by Queen James. Nothing you haven't seen a million times. But I was saying the NHL playoffs. So I was talking about the Penguins there. And I got sidetracked knowing that they're going to win the cup. I'm so excited for that. But the NHL playoffs are easily way more exciting. The last 10 minutes of any NHL playoff game that's within 2 goals, that's 90% of the time it is. Usually they're within 1 goal of each other going down the last 10 minutes. if not 2. But even at that, the last 10 minutes of it, or really the whole third period, but especially the last 10 minutes of an NHL playoff game, is so exciting. I mean, they are just balls out, just balls to the wall, doing everything they can to get that either game-tying goal or a game-winning goal, if you're ahead, but obviously, or whatever the case may be, those last 10 minutes of an NHL playoff game, way more exciting than the NBA. Most of the NBA playoff games generally are. Sometimes, you'll have that one or two times where there's an exciting moment, exciting game, but generally speaking, that's not the case. Barbosa hits a mid-range jumper there, so 8 minutes to go. Cleveland up by 22, still comfortably ahead. Again, you don't doubt Golden State because you've seen them do it before. You've seen them do all types of miraculous things this season in playoffs, so you can't say they can't come back, but it's very unlikely. I don't know how that's not over and back, but okay. Down to 7:30, still 22 points. Kyrie Irving with the ball at the top. Nice pass to LeBron there for the lay-in. Player of the game, easy. MVP tonight has been Kyrie Irving. A great performance. I think he's definitely a top 15 player. I don't know about top 10, although you could make the argument that he is. He certainly plays like it at times. But certainly top 15, that next 5. So, I mean, just a great player, and that's really what LeBron needs. He needs a sidekick, or maybe not even a sidekick, but just someone to be his equal. And then LeBron hitting a step-back jumper. He's hit a few of those mid-range step-back jumpers, which usually he doesn't consistently do on a night-to-night basis. Now, some nights he will come out and hit that shot, but on a regular basis, no. Offensive foul on Curry, which is an absolute garbage. Curry he's got nothing to do but laugh. And some of these calls have just been really ridiculous, especially on him in particular. And stuff like that makes you wonder if the NBA kind of, with the referees, gambling and all the rigged bullshit that they just sweep under the rug. They get away with so much. That stuff really frustrates the hell out of me. There's some level of cheating going on or game rigging or something. Now, look, Cleveland's played very well tonight. I don't think that's necessarily the cause for tonight being the score the way it is. Golden State hasn't played well, and Cleveland has. They would win tonight regardless, but they certainly have gotten some help with some pretty poor calls. There's Curry with a nice drive. So he makes it 103-79, still a 24-point game. LeBron's still crying. He's got 32 and 10 and 6 assists, so he probably won't get the triple-double, but he's definitely got another great double-double for him. So LeBron is a guy, you just have to respect. I don't like him in terms of his personality and who he is and how he is. Obviously, all that changed with the decision, where he decided he was taking his talents to South Beach in the most jackassery way that you possibly could. So ever since that moment, I've lost a lot of respect for him, and many people have. And then, it's just his overall personality, a spoiled, whiny, crybaby, whatever. But anyway, you got to respect him. Obviously, one of the greats of all time. He's in his 7th finals. Even though he's 2-4 in finals before this, he'll be 2-5 after this year because I just still don't foresee them winning the series. I think Golden State will wake up. They haven't seen Cleveland play like this, and I don't know if I don't want to say they took them for granted, but they definitely didn't look. They got shell shocked from the beginning. Cleveland realized that their backs were against the wall. They had to show up. And they got it done. I mean, they jumped on them right out the gate and got a 9-0 run to start the game, and really kind of cruised from that point. They led by as much as 23 in the first quarter, and then I believe Golden State cut it down to as low as 6 or 7 I want to say, and then it kind of ballooned back up from there throughout the third and now fourth quarter. So, Golden State, they've had their chances, or never really had a chance is what I meant to say. Yeah, never really had a chance tonight. Cleveland just jumped on them and stayed out in front, and but I think that they'll come back in Game 4 with a much better mindset. They'll realize that the Cleveland team that's been playing all season is back, because they weren't, Cleveland wasn't playing to what they're capable of. A lot of LeBron sexuals and Cleveland and Cleveland fans were making excuses. I saw, and friends I have making a lot of excuses, and they were saying, "Well, we just don't have the talent to match up," which is false. They absolutely do. How much more talent could you have? I mean, they have so much talent. And so is Golden State. I think talent-wise, if we just put on paper, they're pretty damn equal. I mean, they really are. And some of the people I saw on Facebook and comments I saw was a lot of excuse making, that they just didn't have the talent to compete. And I think that's false. They absolutely do. They just don't have the coaching, and they don't have the right leadership. So here's some stats for you. LeBron, 32 tonight. Kyrie, 25. J.R. Smith, 20. Tristan Thompson, 14. Again, Kevin Love not playing tonight, and maybe that's helping them. Maybe Kevin Love doesn't really fit the mold and fit what they are doing. Kevin Love has been the only guy to really push back with LeBron and his leadership. It seemed like a lot of the other guys, I guess, either listened to him or put up with him or whatever you want to say. And Kevin Love, since the beginning, has been the one that's been. You can just tell him and LeBron probably don't get along, and they clash a lot of the time. So, there's a free throw hit. So 5:53 left. Cleveland still up by 23, and barring a miracle, which is always possible by Golden State, this series will most likely be heading to Game 4 tie, or with a 2-1 Golden State lead. There's Irving drawing a foul on the drive. Yeah, it's interesting. And it looks like Curry's coming out now. Draymond Green's been out for a little bit. So they tried to push on, but it looks like they're going to wave the white flag here. So again, 3 straight NBA final games, 3 straight blowouts for the most part. Game 1 had its moments where it was a little more exciting, but Game 2 and now tonight, 2 awful games. Not fun, not really fun to watch. Especially for a casual fan like me. I don't have a horse in the race. I'm rooting against LeBron, but in all honesty, I don't care too much. And LeBron wins the title. It doesn't, I'm not going to lose sleep over it. It's not my team in the finals, so who cares? There's Irving, terrible defense. Irving with another layup and draws a foul. Now, this is interesting how Cleveland still has all of its starters look like they're still in there. You might as well just get them out. I mean, Cleveland's pulled back its starters, but maybe they will here in a minute. I don't know. Maybe they won't. Maybe they want to run up the score so they feel good about how well they played. But, Tyronn Lue's not even the coach. This is a great example of that. There's 2 guys standing up on the sideline for Cleveland right now. I don't even know who this other guy is. There's Tyronn Lue and then some other guy pacing up and down. Tyronn Lue looks like a dying fish. He just has that. He has that. Like that's what his face looks like. He has that. He looks like a human body that actually drowned. And then they found it about 6 days later, a week later. Someone had a pool party out at the old lake. You got the college kids. Everyone's out of school. Everyone's hitting the lake and going off in the whatever. And then someone, Jerry. I don't know. Jerry's not a modern name. What's a modern cool guy name. I don't know. Clinton. No, that's just. I don't even know why I said Clinton. What's like a modern hipster name? Oh man, I can't think of. I don't know. Brian? No. Brad? No. Man. I'm not that old, am I? I can't even think of a good hipster name for this fake scenario where I'm making fun of Tyronn Lue looking like a dead person. Point is, that's what he looks like. You know, when we'll say, Mitch falls off the party boat and drowns, and they can't find his body for a week, and then they find it, and he's just bloated. He's a bloated dead corpus. Corpus? No, corpse. So that's there's Tyronn Lue in a nutshell. He's like I started with a fat or a dying fish, and instead I went with just a dead human corpse that had been that drowned, and they took a week to find the body, and when they did, it was all swollen and bloated. So that's Tyronn Lue. That's what he looks like. If you see him up and down the sideline, his face is unmistakable. You can definitely see his just dying fat face with his stupid fat mouth just gaping open. Clearly a mouth breather, having no idea what he's doing. And that's the other thing. He looks lost. He's always looking around. He's always looking. He's never like directing traffic or knowing what to do or what to say. He's never taking control of anything. He has no fucking. I don't even know. He has no fucking say in much of anything. I think he's giving suggestions at this point. And then if LeBron approves of those suggestions, that's what they do. But I don't even know if he's making the. I don't even know if he's making the decisions in terms of substitutions. I just don't. I think it's a community pool of all the assistants are all just kind of chipping in. and no one knows what the fuck to do. And it's just that's again going back to what I was saying. The talent level is the same, really. I mean, if you look on paper, Steph Curry, LeBron James, even. Okay, well, what's your next level? Kyrie Irving and Klay Thompson, even. What's the next level? Well, Draymond Green and Kevin Love, even. And then you go on from there. Well, J.R. Smith and, Andre Iguodala, even. So on and so forth. So, I mean, it's a push. I mean, you can really make the argument that it's a push at every position. And so for any Cleveland fan, when they come up with their excuses, and it'd be interesting to see how they sound tonight. Like, oh, we're back, and oh, this is how we're supposed to play. This is what we can do, and blah, 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 all that garbage. No, you just got one, okay? You're going to probably lose in 5. My original prediction was 6. I said Warriors will win the series in 6. A friend of mine at work said Warriors in 5. I thought that was a little much, but the way things are going, that's still very possible. I expect that Golden State will wake up. Here's the point differential. Golden State won by 15 in Game 1, 33 in Game 2, and then right now it's a 25-point lead for Cleveland. So again, the ever-exciting NBA Finals, underwhelming ratings, I'm sure. Well, the ratings are probably high. It's still decent because there's a lot of fucking idiots who just, they don't know any better, so they'll just watch it and lap it up. But pretty poor games so far. Hopefully the next couple are a little more exciting. Because for a casual fan like myself, like I said, these have been pretty awful finals games. There's Tyronn Lue. Yeah, he's clapping. Yeah, good job, guys. You guys did a good job out there. I don't even. I didn't do anything to contribute, but good job out there. I had to sign the starting lineup and the official roster card at the beginning of the game. That's all I. That's about as far as it goes for Tyronn Lue. Tyronn Lue. He wasn't even a good player. That's the other thing, too. Like, Steve Kerr was he had great moments for sure, but a very good player. I don't know. A lot of guys who end up, obviously Jason Kidd is a coach in the NBA now. He was a great player and will probably be a Hall of Famer. Stationary bike, jogging, agility work, and something else. Now they were showing the concussion protocol of like things they have to be able to like do. The concussion stuff is just kind of crazy. It's kind of overkill. So we got with 3:44 left in the fourth. Cleveland's still up by 25. They just missed a couple free throws, actually. On the other end, there's a brick from, what was that, Livingston? No, that's Brandon Rush, the former Indiana Pacer. He's drafted by my beloved Pacers. There's Mozgov losing the ball there. Mozgov is a guy who I feel bad for. He's a really, really good player. Great center. He should be starting somewhere. But instead, he's not. He's riding the bench in Cleveland because the style of play now is not, it's LeBron ball and it's whatever he wants. So they don't use a center for whatever reason. A true center. Mozgov is better than Tristan Thompson. I don't care what anyone says. But again, LeBron's the GM, and he decided that they wanted to get Tristan Thompson the big money extension and all that Cleveland will be stuck with after he leaves. LeBron's leaving after this season. I have no doubt. There's no doubt in my mind. Win, lose, or draw in this finals. I think there's more of a chance if he loses because he'll have that. He wants to have that feeling. You always got to think of, that it just can't be done. He just got to think, well, Cleveland is a cursed city. It really must be. Mo Williams, holy shit, I forgot about him. Mo Williams out there for the Cavs right now, wearing number 52. Yeah, the commentator, that's the interesting commentator, just made a comment about the amount of blowouts there have been in the playoffs as a whole, not just the finals, which I'm glad he recognized that. I'm sure the NBA and ESPN people will be having a talk with this play-by-play guy. I forget his name, Mike something, I believe. But they'll be having a talk with him. Oh, hey, you're going to have to make sure you don't mention that on the air anymore. We got to make sure we keep our viewers blind to the truth that the finals have really been garbage. Most games decided by 25 points or more in NBA playoff history. 19 is a new record. The previous record was 11 in 2009 and then 9 in 96, 92. So 19 times, 19 games in these finals have been decided, or not these finals, I'm sorry, these NBA playoffs, 19 times has the final score or the winning margin been 25 points or more. That is ridiculous, and that proves my point. I was just saying double digits. So 19 games in the entire playoffs have been decided by 25 points or more. That means that number goes up when you look at 20 or more, 15 or more, 10 or more. Those are all double digits. So I'm sure those numbers look even worse the further you go down there. So, again, just backs up my point. And it just goes to show that even without stats, I can tell you the truth, the Trav Moko truth, the gospel truth. That was goaltending for sure. Mozgov there on a dunk tip. But yeah, so it's the truth. If you're not a big NHL person, you need to watch more. Game 5 is Thursday night. So, definitely check that out. You'll want to watch. I mean, obviously the Stanley Cup is even more exciting. My Pittsburgh Penguins are going to be raising the cup here. I don't know what's going on. They got Carlisle, Jerry Sloan. Oh, Jerry Sloan got the Chuck Daly Lifetime Achievement Award. Oh, Jerry Sloan looks like you have Alzheimer's or something? He didn't look all there. Yeah, Jerry Sloan, a great coach, though. Coach of the Jazz for 23 seasons. Took them to 2 finals, obviously the 2 that they lost to the Jordan era Chicago Bulls. Some great teams. Stockton and Malone. Was it Hornacek? Yeah, John Hornacek. Greg Ostertag, I remember him. Byron Russell. Byron Russell is the unfortunate soul to be the one who took the got the Jordan's final shots basically as a Bull was over him. Vince Carter won the Teammates of the Year award. He's a future Hall of Famer for sure. There's Mozgov missing a layup, looks like. There's Verjao bringing it up. There's Spates with a little step back and he misses. So, can't believe Mo Williams is out there. I didn't even realize he was still in the league. The crowd's on their feet cheering as they should. A great performance for the home team, the Cleveland Cavs. Definitely got to give them props. This will end up being, right now it's 31 points. The margin, holy crap. And that's just, it really is fascinating to me. I don't understand how that happens. I mean, I really don't. How does one team blow out the other, by 15 and 33, and then come back and get their own ass blown out by what will end up being around 30? 19 for Curry, 10 for Thompson, 6 or 8 for Green. So the stars for Golden State completely not showing up. Very poor shooting numbers for all three as well. I think Curry was like 6 for 13. Thompson was 4 for 13. Draymond Green was like 2 for 9. So they'll turn it around. I'm not worried about that. Game 4, I'm sure they'll bounce back. They realize Cleveland is back to playing like themselves. So 120-90 is the score as we get down to the final 40 seconds. They'll dribble this out pretty much here. But, Golden State's going to have to wake up. I mean, Cleveland's going to have its mojo back, as they should. They played well as a team. They did all the things that they hadn't done in the previous games, for the most part. I mean, it's still a little bit too much isolation. Kyrie Irving was just on. His pick and roll was on. He hit some big threes early on. J.R. Smith was hitting his threes. So the things that they weren't getting going in games 1 and especially game 2 were going tonight. And then, Cleveland or Golden State had the opposite problem where they couldn't get anything going or anybody going. Curry was in foul trouble. Klay Thompson got hurt and missed a big chunk of the second quarter. And came back, but you could tell he was definitely hurting. He had a knee on knee. So that's the final, 120-90. So a 30-point win and another lack of excitement game. And now Doris the Dyke Burke is going to do something here. Some post-game or on-the-court interview. Riveting. LeBron James.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
I never have time for that. He's a special kid. We need him to be special. Yeah, I'm going to turn this up, see if you guys can hear. This is LeBron post-game.
I was at the rim, so I never got deterred about that, never stopped going, and also got my jumper working in the second half. But my teammates did a great job of finding me. I can't do anything without those guys, and that's where it all comes from.
In terms of wins, you're going up against a historically great team. The contributions of Tristan and JR. What will be required of your group to beat that?
The same effort. We got to get the same effort on Friday. It started defensively, and it's trickled down to the offensive side. We finally got our pace. We finally started playing our basketball, which the coaching staff wanted us to do. And it resulted in us having a very good game. So we still can be better, and we want to
All right, so there's LeBron post game. I don't know if you could hear what he was saying there, but just saying they're going to need the same effort. And even when the thing about LeBron is that he's so phony and fake. You just see right through him. He's a phony tough guy for one, but that's not even the point I was going to make. Even when he's trying to sound like a good teammate, I can just tell. I just feel like I just don't see any genuine. That's how he feels coming from that. It just sounds like he's full of shit, and he just really doesn't care. It's all about him. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. I think deep down he's extremely self-centered person, spoiled, type of mentality that millennial, the typical new age millennial, style of mindset. I think is the LeBron mindset. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap things up here. The game's over. Tomorrow night or Thursday night, depending on when you're listening. Thursday night, the 9th of June, will be the Stanley Cup Game 5. I will not be doing any podcasts or anything for that, as I am way too big of a Penguins fan. I would be too on edge. I won't be able to be podcasting while watching that. So I'll be out at the Permane Brothers, the Pittsburgh Staples. I'll be at Permane's watching it, most likely, celebrating with strangers. And looking forward to that. But yeah, and then game 4, I don't even know when it is. Hopefully they show it. Well, here's a scoreline real quick again. James 32, Irving 30, Smith 20, Thompson 14, and Jefferson 9. But obviously the big stars, showing up in a big way. And they look to play better without Kevin Love. That'll be an interesting storyline going forward. And that'll be the excuse too. If Love comes back and they lose, say 4 and 5, and lose the series in 5, then the only game they won will have been without Kevin Love. So then the excuses will be, Kevin Love. I'm sure something to do with that. But a great performance here. Thanks for listening. This is Trav Moko of the Trav Moko Show. Leave a comment, give me a like, give me a follow. I gained some followers last time. I'll be back on YouTube as soon as I can after I get over this little copyright bullshit through the YouTube people. If you're listening on YouTube, thank you for listening. And to some of the subscribers I have on YouTube, sorry I haven't been able to live stream on there. I know that a few guys really enjoyed that and appreciated that, and I'll be back as soon as I can. 3 more. Well, it's gonna. I mean, they need 3 more, but it's probably gonna be no more. I just don't. It's hard to picture Golden State not winning this series. They just didn't show up tonight, but after what happened with Oklahoma City and that whole comeback, it's hard to. You can't doubt them and their abilities to. I don't see Cleveland winning 3 more games. I just don't. It'll be over in 5 or 6 in favor of Golden State. I said 6 originally. A friend of mine said 5. I thought that was a stretch, but it's definitely very, very plausible. But I expect Golden State will show back up. Hopefully, it'll be a little more exciting game at the very least. Not really been pleased at all with these finals. As a casual fan. I'm a big NBA fan, but just my team's not in it, so I really don't care. So the quality of the game's been pretty poor. So hopefully they'll turn that around. I just hope there's a little more exciting game next time out. So that's it again. Trap Moko Show at gmail.com. You will shoot me an email. You can, and I'll read it on air. I'll do another live stream during the fourth quarter of Game 4, which I believe is Friday night. that would make sense as they are will be in Cleveland for Game 4. So I'm not 100% sure because they've had 2-day gaps to this point. But I think it's Friday. If I would been paying attention to my TV, I probably would know that by now. So whenever it is Friday, or if it is for some reason Saturday, I will do something for that game in the fourth quarter as well. And hopefully I'll be back on YouTube shortly with more live stuff on there. Like I said, I've gained a good following there, and I enjoyed that. But whatever. I gotta fight the man, apparently. So take it easy. Have a good week. Make sure you watch the Stanley Cup. Give me a like. Give me a follow. Even if you don't like it or want to follow, do it anyway because it makes me feel good. and it looks good. Or just follow me on my YouTube channel. I have a YouTube channel now where I'm going to do more and more content there. I'm going to start migrating everything to there and probably do less on Spreaker.com. Well, that's not true. I'll probably still do a weekly podcast on here, but I'll be doing a lot more with YouTube over the coming months. So I already had a pretty good success in the first week or two of having a YouTube channel there. So check that out. It's just Trav Moko, spelled the same way. Check me out over there. And that's it. Have a good week. Make sure you watch the Stanley Cup. Go Pens. We're going to hoisting the cup tomorrow night. And then I'll see you guys for the next game, Game 4, the NBA Finals. Take it easy. See you then.